So here's part two of the last 100 yards, mission three that I'm playing. Um, so this is part two. I looked up the rules and I was going to not activate any of my American units because they do have the initiative. The problem is the units in this hex back here under Lieutenant Murphy, there were 3 disrupted units, 2 disrupted half squads and a disrupted MG section. According to the rules, it looks like because they were in line of sight of some Germans up on this hill, I was required to attempt to recover them, which is an action, which is then would allow the Germans on the hill to react, and also these Germans over here to react because they're in line of sight, which means they can react, which means they can maneuver, including assault. So unfortunately, my plan of staying totally quiet and not letting the Germans react and assault into the church doesn't really work great because of my units back in the back that need to recover. Although it would keep some of the units in front from reacting since they wouldn't be able to see what's going on back there. So anyway, I went ahead and did that, and I was lucky enough to have all 3 units recover. That's cool. But then what it did, of course, is it triggered reactions from a whole bunch of German units. So I'm deciding to go all in with the German units. I'm going to try to win or lose the scenario right now with the Germans. So the Germans up on the hill have assaulted down the hill into the church. The Germans who were adjacent have done an assault, and because they were adjacent, they immediately throw an assault marker in the hex, which keeps anyone in the hex from firing out. Koch up on the hill over here with his 1 squad ran down the hill and they're assaulting. So I'm going to have, I think they call it an envelopment or an encirclement. I'll get a modifier because I'm assaulting from different hex sides. But I wanted to give you an update. The interesting thing is really cool is I moved Murphy out into this hex to help them recover. If I had kept him in the church, the awesome cool thing about this game is you're allowed to call down mortar fire on your very own hex if you're being assaulted. But unfortunately, you have to have a platoon leader in the hex to do that. I had Murphy there, but I moved him out so that he could help recover. If Murphy was in here, he could call it down. I can still move Murphy in because he hasn't done anything except to help them recover. But then if I move him into the hex, into the stone church, that counts as his action, and then he can't call down the mortar fire. But it would have been really cool to call down mortar fire right on the church and try to break up this assault. Anyway, this is part 2. I'll probably do a quick part 3 video to show you the end result of this massive assault and see what happens.